Hey there. Ready to dive into something that's got everyone buzzing? We're talking about Java Burn,
Oh,
this
yeah.
intriguing product that claims to transform your morning coffee into a secret weapon for metabolism and fat burning.
It's definitely caught my eye.
Right.
Yeah, the idea of enhancing something as routine as our morning coffee
Right.
to potentially support our health goals is fascinating.
And they make some pretty bold claims. We've got research snippets, that intriguing ingredient list, FAQs, you name it.
Yeah,
So let's unpack this.
let's brew up some knowledge.
I like it.
Oh,
Okay, so to set the stage, they start by talking about how a lot of us might have slower metabolisms than we realize.
okay.
They even throw out a stat, something like 80% of Americans might have inherited a slower metabolism.
Hmm.
What's your take on that?
It's definitely an attention-grabbing claim, and while it's true that genetics play a role in our metabolism,
Right.
and it does naturally slow down with age,
Yeah,
80% having a slow metabolism seems like a stretch. It would be interesting to see the specific research they're basing that on.
totally. They don't actually link to the research,
Right.
which is
Yeah.
a bit of a head scratcher.
Yeah.
But okay, let's move on to their core idea that coffee itself can be a catalyst for fat burning.
Okay.
There's some truth to that. Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Coffee contains caffeine, which is a stimulant.
Right.
And we know stimulants can temporarily increase our metabolic rate,
Yep.
giving us that energy boost.
Yeah.
The effects are generally short-lived, though.
Okay, so that's where Java Burn comes in.
Yeah.
They claim to amplify those effects with their proprietary formula,
Mm-hmm.
which they add to your coffee.
Uh-huh.
And for those ready to try it out, we've got a link to their official website in the episode description.
Okay.
If you're serious about wanting to increase fat burning and increase energy levels,
Sure.
then click the link below.
That's their big selling point,
Okay.
that this formula unlocks the full fat-burning potential of your coffee.
They make a big deal about it being patent pending, too.
It's definitely intriguing.
Yeah.
A patent pending status suggests they've discovered a unique combination of ingredients or a novel application.
Right.
But of course, that doesn't automatically translate to effectiveness,
Right.
which is what we're really here to explore.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So let's get into these ingredients. Some are
Sure.
familiar, like
Uh-huh.
green tea extract, which I know is generally considered good for you.
Green tea extract is a common ingredient in weight loss supplements.
Okay.
It contains catechins,
Right.
specifically EGCG,
Okay.
which has been studied for its potential to increase metabolism and fat oxidation.
Okay, so some potential there.
Yeah.
What about chlorogenic acid? They mentioned that's in there too.
Chlorogenic acid is primarily found in green coffee bean extract.
Okay.
There have been some small studies suggesting it might have a modest impact on metabolism and fat burning.
Hmm.
However, more research is needed to confirm these findings and understand the long-term effects.
Got it.
Yeah.
So some promising early research, but not a slam dunk yet. Then there's L-carnitine, which sounds pretty intense.
Yeah.
What was the deal with that?
L-carnitine is a naturally occurring amino acid.
Okay.
It helps our bodies transport fatty acids into the mitochondria,
Right.
which are like the powerhouses of our cells,
Yeah.
where they can be burned for energy.
So it's like it helps your body use fat for fuel more efficiently.
That's the idea.
If you're serious about wanting to increase fat burning and increase energy levels, then click the link in the description below to be taken to the official Java Burn website.
However, while L-carnitine supplementation has been shown to be beneficial for people with a deficiency,
Right.
the research on its effectiveness for weight loss in healthy individuals is mixed.
Ah, okay. So not necessarily a magic bullet just because you add it to the mix.
Exactly.
And that's a good segue into another key point. Individual responses to supplement vary widely.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah, what works for one person might not work for another.
that's a great point and a good reminder that there's no one-size-fits-all solution.
Right.
Speaking of individual needs, they emphasize that Java Burn is safe.
Mm-hmm.
They use terms like all-natural, vegetarian, gluten-free, non-GMO,
Sure.
and they highlight that it's made in the USA in an FDA-approved facility.
Okay.
What are your thoughts on all that?
Those are all positive signs.
Yeah.
And those manufacturing practices are certainly important for quality control.
Right.
However, it's crucial to remember that natural doesn't automatically equate to safe,
Right.
especially with supplements. Especially with supplements, it's always best to consult with your doctor before starting any new supplement regimen.
Yeah,
Especially if you have any pre-existing health conditions or are taking medications.
absolutely. It's always better to err on the side of caution and have that conversation with your doctor,
Right.
especially since they know your medical history.
Precisely. And to your point about individual needs, it's worth noting that some supplements can interact with certain medications
Right.
or might not be suitable for people with specific health conditions.
That's true. Another thing that makes people hesitant about supplements is the lack of regulation
Yeah,
compared to, say, prescription medications.
that's a valid concern. The supplement industry isn't as tightly regulated as the pharmaceutical industry.
Right.
That's why it's crucial to do your research and choose products from reputable companies.
Yeah.
Look for things like third-party testing, which can give you more confidence that the product contains what it claims.
Good point. And Java Burn does emphasize that it's manufactured in an FDA-approved facility in the USA,
Right,
which is something they highlight multiple times.
right. And while that speaks to their manufacturing processes, it doesn't necessarily guarantee the product's effectiveness.
Okay, so we've talked ingredients and safety. Let's get to the million-dollar question.
Yeah.
Does it actually work?
Mm-hmm.
Does adding Java Burn to your coffee really boost your metabolism and help you burn more fat?
That's the crux of it, isn't it? And unfortunately, there's no simple answer. While the individual ingredients have shown some promise in studies, we don't have conclusive evidence yet to say for sure whether this particular combination in these specific amounts delivers on its claims.
They do mention that Java Burn is patent pending,
Mm-hmm.
which they seem to imply means it's something truly groundbreaking.
Yeah, the patent pending status protects their specific formula, but it doesn't inherently speak to its effectiveness.
Right.
We need to see more research, ideally larger scale clinical trials, to really understand the impact of Java Burn.
Some more research is needed. That feels like a common theme in the world of supplements.
It is, and it's understandable that people are looking for ways to support their metabolism and achieve their health goals.
Sure.
But it's crucial to approach these products with realistic expectations.
For sure. It's easy to get caught up in the hype, especially when it's something as appealing as a simple addition to your morning coffee.
Mm-hmm.
They do have a lot of testimonials on their website, people raving about their results.
Right.
But as we all know, testimonials aren't the same as scientific evidence.
Exactly. Testimonials can be compelling, but they're anecdotal.
Right.
Everyone's body is different.
Right.
And what works for one person might not work for another.
Yeah.
Plus, there's the placebo effect to consider.
Right. Sometimes just believing something works
Yeah.
can have an impact. They also highlight that it's a limited time offer.
Sure.
And you can save money if you buy in bulk, which always makes me a little skeptical.
That's a common marketing tactic, creating a sense of urgency.
Yeah, they do offer a money-back guarantee, though. You can try Java Burn for 60 days, and if you're not happy,
Okay.
you can get a full refund.
That's good to know. It does offer some peace of mind.
It's just interesting because they recommend taking Java Burn for 90 to 180 days for optimal results.
Right.
So you'd need to buy multiple pouches to even fully utilize that money-back guarantee.
That's a good point. It makes you wonder if the longer time frame for optimal results is really about the science or more about encouraging those larger orders.
That's true. And speaking of optimal results, they mention that in their FAQs. But they don't actually define what that means specifically.
Right. It would be helpful to see the research behind that recommendation and understand what specific outcomes they're referring to.
It seems like transparency is so important in this industry, both from the companies selling these products and from us as consumers trying to make informed choices.
I completely agree. We need to be discerning about the information that's presented to us. If you're considering Java Burn or any supplement, it's essential to do your research, consult with your doctor, and manage your expectations realistically.
Solid advice. So where does this leave us with Java Burn? Potential metabolism booster or clever marketing? What are your final thoughts?
I think the jury is still out.
Okay.
The science behind some of the individual ingredients is interesting.
Yeah.
But we need more research to determine how effective this specific formulation actually is.
Right.
And that circles back to the importance of individual responses. What
Yeah.
works wonders for one person might not do much for another.
True. It's easy to get caught up in the hype, especially when it seems like there's a new health trend popping up every week.
Absolutely. And it taps into that very human desire for a quick fix.
Yeah.
But when it comes to our health and well-being, it's often the small, sustainable changes that make the biggest difference over time.
Things like maintaining a healthy diet, getting regular exercise, managing stress, all those things we know we should be doing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And while those lifestyle changes might not seem as immediately gratifying as stirring something into your coffee,
Right.
they tend to have more lasting benefits.
That's such a good point, and something I think we sometimes forget in our quest for that magic solution. Well, for our listeners who are intrigued by Java Burn, I hope this deep dive has given you some things to consider.
I hope so too. It's always exciting to explore new approaches to health and wellness.
Right.
But it's crucial to do so with a critical and informed perspective. Do your research, talk to your healthcare provider, and make choices that align with your personal health goals.
Couldn't agree more. And if you're ready to dive deeper into the world of Java Burn and see what it's all about, you can find a link to their official website in the episode description. If you're serious about wanting to increase fat burning and increase energy levels, then click the link below. And remember, knowledge is power, even when it comes to our morning coffee.